severally. It's saying Ego is unable to join. Hello, people. We're waiting for Ego to join. Thank you for your patience.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, the phone worked.
Yes.
The laptop didn't work.
Yes. You look very nice.
Thank you.
Uncle Ima, I saw you. I can see you. Big brother of life. Yeah. So Ego, how now? You look really nice, oh.
Thank you. And you look nice.
Thank you. And your skin is really glowing.
Well, what can I say? To God be the glory.
So we thank God for everything. God is good. God is great. So welcome, Ego.
Thank you.
So we start now. So hello, everyone. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining, tuning in to Adonis Parlor. And you're welcome to another edition of Adonis Parlor. So today I have with me Ego Obi Nwadei. And remember that October is Breast Cancer Month. And in celebration of Breast Cancer Month, I have been talking to breast cancer specialists. First week of October, I spoke to Dr. Jovita Oriwari, a breast cancer surgeon. Then last week, second week, I spoke to my sister, Adiola Gbadamosi, who is a cancer survivor. And then today, third week, I'm speaking with my dear friend of many years, Ego Obi Nwadei.
Nwadei.
So, Ego, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and for you to be able to come on, I mean, it shows how brave a person you are, because it's not easy. I mean, to come in public and tell us the story of your breast cancer journey. So, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So, first of all, introduce yourself to us. Who are you? Who is Ego Obi Nwadei?
Okay, so I would say I'm a person. So I describe myself as a person who is passionate about impacting lives of others through my my time, my talent, and my resources. I hate to describe myself as I do this job or I am this. I would describe myself as someone who's passionate about impacting lives, either through my time, my talent, or my resources. And I'm passionate about life as well. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I live in the UK, as you know. I have a job for which I'm grateful, but I wouldn't go too much into that because my job doesn't define who I am. Yeah, so that's all I can say for now.
Thank you very much, Ego. Adonis Palo, I always mention at the beginning, Adonis Palo is all about that diasporan who is out to impact, inspire, and motivate lives positively. Wow. And thank God that's what you do, so I'm happy about that. So now, Ego, we must go straight to the point because you said you wanted us to go straight to the point. So now, just take us through your journey. But before you take us through your journey, let me just run and get my book. Your book. My own copy, your book. Which you're going to sign for me.
I will. I will. Yep.
Yeah. Hold on, please.
Okay.
My people, I'm coming back now.
Abby, nice to see you. I see you're on there.
Yeah, my book. I'm back.
Okay, good.
So that's Ego's book, my copy. Yes, I'm back. Hello, everyone. Sorry, I went to quickly get my book. I forgot it upstairs. Yeah, so Ego, take us through your journey.
Okay, so October for me is a special month in many regards. I was born in October. Some of the most dearest people to me were also born in October, living and passed. But October was also the month I was diagnosed with breast cancer. In fact, it would have been it'd be 2 years tomorrow that I was actually diagnosed. And how that actually came about, I was invited to go for for a screening for mammogram. I would say I used to kind of self check, but I didn't actually do that religiously. However, when in the UK, when you're between 50 and 55, you get called for a mammogram. And I remember when I was called, when I got the letter, for me, it seemed like an inconvenience because my GP was in Manchester and I was working in London at the time. So I almost didn't go, right? I'm like, I feel my breast all the time and there was nothing untoward. So I had nothing to worry about. And I almost didn't go for the appointment because I had to, drive. Well, I didn't have to drive. I could have taken the train. So I asked a friend of mine, oh, do you fancy a trip to Manchester? Do you want to come with me? Because I have to go for my mammogram. Went for the first one in late September in 2019. And then because it was the first mammogram I'd had, I got told maybe like a week later, I got the results of, no, I got told a few days after to come back for another test. And I asked, I'm a curious person. I love to know what's going on. So I asked, why am I coming back? And I was told, because it's the first time, this is just, they need to establish a baseline. So I went back the second time. And again, I almost didn't go because I felt like it was an inconvenience. So I went the second time and my friend came with me again because we had some stuff to do in Manchester anyway. So I went the second time and then I was told I'd get the results in a week. And when it was a week, I got a phone call to say I needed to come to the hospital for the results. So a part of me knew, although I didn't know, I actually knew that there's no way you would tell me to come in for the results if it was negative, right? So I went back, with the friend of mine, and I remember on the day I was going, my prayer that morning was, if it's good news, may I have the right level of gratitude to embrace it. If it's bad news, give me the strength to deal with it, right? And I'm not usually I'm not a dramatic person, so it's not like if I hear the news, I'll be rolling on the floor and screaming and things like that. So anyway, I went to the hospital, went with my friend, and when I was called in, I was escorted by two nurses to see the oncologist. Wow. And for me, that was just confirmation that it wasn't the news that I wanted. So, sat down and, the oncologist kind of went through the type of cancer, breast cancer it was, the stage, so it's triple negative, stage 1 breast cancer. And she kind of went through everything and, the stage I was at, what it would take to start treatment. I had to start treatment immediately. But then they needed about 3 weeks to get the entire team together. So I remember just kind of absorbing the news and just thinking, wow, this is actually happening. And there's no unsaying what's been said, right? As much as I I wouldn't say I owned, I embraced the news, but I didn't own it. You know, I was like, okay, so I'm just one of the statistics now. What next? And, you know, at one point, the oncologist actually asked me if I understood what was being said. And I said, of course I understand. In fact, I felt insulted by that question because maybe they expected a reaction, but like I said, I'm not a melodramatic person. So I embraced the news, and then I just kind of asked questions like, how long do you think I've had it? And then what was the, you know, what do you think the cause was? You know, what's the treatment? What kind of treatment will I have? Chemo, radiotherapy, mastectomy after? And she kind of went through everything. So the first question I asked was, you know, what was the likely cause? The likely cause, as far as she was concerned, was either stress or personal trauma. I'm not usually one to stress, I would say. So I kind of put it, it may have been stress, I don't know, but I kind of put it down to personal trauma because four months before I was diagnosed, and basically 3 months before I was diagnosed, we buried my mom. And then 6 months before my mom died, my sister died. And then 6 months before my sister died, my dad died. So in the space of 1 year, between June 2018 and June 2019, my dad, sister, and mom passed away. So I kind of put it down to that. So either the trauma of that time or the stress from that period probably triggered the cancer. And in terms of how long it'd been in my body, she said it probably about 6 months. So for me, it was at that crucial time. So early detection is really key. I'm so grateful that I basically heeded the call to go for the check. Wow. And I that self kind of checking, I would say I was lucky actually, to check. So in the 6 months that, I guess the tumor was growing, I probably didn't check as much, but I think it's really important to check and to know your body. If there's any changes, like either lumps, some people don't even know how to check, or changes in the nipple. But for me, everything looked fine. But I was fortunate that I went, for the appointment. And then in terms of, like the treatment, they needed to start immediately. I needed to have my lymph nodes removed and then start chemotherapy. I couldn't do radiotherapy because I have an underlying autoimmune condition, which would have been fatal if I'd done radiotherapy. So it was chemotherapy and then have the mastectomy. So I started my treatment, I started chemotherapy in mid-November. And just before, a few days before, I thought to myself, there's so much I don't know about. I didn't know. I'm the only one I knew in my family, apart from my sister-in-law, who actually passed away. I think it was January of 2019, actually. Mm-hmm. My sister-in-law passed away with cancer, but we weren't where she was, so I didn't see how it actually affected her. So I'd never been around anyone who had cancer. No one in my family had, apart from my sister-in-law. So I didn't know what to expect. And I know from, what you hear and what you read that the effects are quite severe in terms of side effects and all of that. And I knew that there were certain parts of the journey I couldn't control. But what I could control was the fact I knew I would lose my hair. I had beautiful long hair. Yeah. And I said, at least I can control this. I can control shaving my head rather than the cancer or the chemo, doing it for me. So I went with a good friend of mine, Tayo. Tayo Tomoye, she came with me to go cut my locks off. And you know, I think that was actually quite crucial because it prepared me for what's to come. I remember my loctician is a believer, and I remember just sitting there. We were just praising and worshiping actually through that process. And Tayo's like, how do you feel? Do you feel sad? And I'm like, no, I actually don't. I don't feel sad. This is one thing I can control. So, you know, I did that. And I, you know, just kind of when before I started the treatment, I think I had another meeting with the oncologist, and this is where they kind of got all, I guess, technical, and the reality really hit. So I remember my husband was in Doha at the time, and I remember going into the meeting, and then I asked the oncologist, can we call him so that as you know, we're talking through the treatment. You know, I mean, of course, I'm not a medical person, and there's only so much I know, right? So I didn't want to be kind of blindsided by what I don't know. So if there was something I didn't understand, or maybe I didn't have the clarity of mind or judgment, he would ask the right questions. And, you know, we came away from the, you know, from the meeting, you know, I felt comfortable about what was to happen. Of course, I didn't know what I didn't know, so I wasn't afraid of anything. And yeah, so I think November 19, I think I started treatment. And you know, I'm an organizer. I like to plan, organize in my job. You know, I'm kind of I'm a strategist, right? So I had planned what I could control. So I prior, I'm not one who really asks for help, but I knew that this is going to be difficult. My husband works abroad. My son was in Scotland. My brothers live in London. I have a sister in Nigeria. I have a sister in China. So I knew, and of course I have most of my friends are south of England. And then of course I have family and in-laws in Nigeria and friends all over the world. And I figured I need help. I don't know what I need the help for, but the only thing I could imagine was to create. So I created a spreadsheet. I knew the frequency of all my treatments, and I just sent an email to my close family. It was a small number, and that was on by design, right? I sent it to a number of people, family and friends, and I basically said, here are my treatment days. I need a chaperone to come with me on each treatment. In 24 hours, that spreadsheet was oversubscribed. And for me, that was another gratitude point, you know, just kind of seeing family and friends. I mean, you know, family and friends just kind of take slots, and some family members or people that I'd invited to take a slot actually got upset that they couldn't find a slot. And, you know, like I said, it was really a point of gratitude. And, you know, they showed up for me 100%, in fact, 200%.
Wow.
In so many ways. Yes, so many ways. So that's kind of how the journey started. Yeah. Treatment started in November. And then I had, in March, if you remember, March 23rd last year, the UK went into lockdown. And yeah. My sister-in-laws actually came from, she was on the rota to come. So she came for 3 weeks from Nigeria to stay with me. And, you know, follow me for treatment and things like that. And then she left. When she left, another friend came from California, and then there was a lockdown. I was just by myself, you know, receiving chemotherapy. Nobody can come in your house. You can't go out. I can only go for treatments. And then, yeah, so that's kind of how I did that for a number of months. And then, of course, I had surgery. I had my first surgery in May. of last year, and then I had the second one in September of last year. But I mean, I can go into more details, but that's kind of the start, the, you know, like the summarized version of the journey. I don't know if you have anything specific you want me to get into.
Yeah, so all the times you were alone during the lockdown, how did you feel? Because I know chemo is really very painful, and it's very painful, and you know, you were alone. And so how
Yeah.
did you feel when you were going through the pain?
It was tough, actually. It was tough. You know, some days you can cope and some days you can't, you know. But I, as much as I didn't have people um with me, but you know, like I had the phone calls. I mean, I had a friend of mine, I mean, you know Layla, right?
Yeah.
She was there all the time, you know, like on the phone. She would help me do research. She would help with, you know, like my planning my meals, you know, kind of chatting, laughing. I mean, the times when I was going through the pain and I couldn't move, it was just one of those things. You just
Mm.
have to live. There's nothing you can do. Um, yeah, I mean, you get the encouragement from you get you get the encouragement from friends and family, but then there's really nothing I could do. I mean, some cases it was kind of severe, where I would have to call the emergency services and go into hospital, and then nobody can come into the hospital because of the COVID situation, right? Um, yeah, I mean, you just kind of get on. I look back now and I think, wow, how did I get through it? But it's really, you know, like God's grace
Yeah.
um, that gets you through. And
Yeah.
I remember, you know, I mean, you don't have anyone around you, right? So it's just like every day, I just prayed for, I don't pray to get through the day. I pray to get through each hour, because there's sometimes when I actually can't move and I'm like, okay. And my husband would say to me, just get everything you need around you. Fortunately, the way the house is, you know, there's the, you know, we have a room that's en suite, so I'm close to the bathroom. I couldn't even stand in the shower,
Mm.
right? So I would have everything I needed, my snacks, my water, everything I needed by me, so I didn't have to travel. I didn't have to travel so far.
Yeah.
I had food made and ordered, and you know, Layla would cook for me. At one time, she actually sent food from London to Manchester, like piles and piles of food: stew, yam,
Wow.
plantain, efo,
Wow.
moi, thing, right? In yeah. So as difficult as it was also, you know, I would say it was a bad experience, but lots of good came out of the experience. So really it's about the mindset. As much as it was a painful and there are tears, sometimes there's tears now, it's just kind of looking back and thinking, wow, you know, my mindset going into the process was exactly the same throughout. You know, I can do this, I can get through it, there is hope. There's no way this would take me down, because a lot of the time, I remember even the oncologist said it, mindset plays a huge role
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
going through cancer. And I totally believe that, because that coupled with all the other things that I mentioned actually kind of got me through, you know? So,
Thank God for your life.
yep.
Thank God for your life. We
Thank you.
really thank God for your life, honestly. Lila. Lila, I've invited you to come on. Lila. Lila, how
Wow.
now?
Oh, did I join?
Yes, you did. Don't go off. Don't go off. Lila, thank you. Thank you
I,
for being such a very
I thought I
wonderful.
was in the background. I didn't know you could see me.
Lila,
Really.
Lila, thank you for
Oh,
being a very, very good friend to Ego, honestly.
Ego is more than my friend. She's my sister. She knows
Yeah.
that.
God
She
bless you.
knows that.
God bless you.
Oh,
God bless
we
you.
thank God. We thank God. Ego, good to see you. You've done so well. Good to see you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. All of you, I mean, amazing. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, you know, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I really want to use the opportunity to, you know, and you know, like in our culture, right? We don't culturally, as a people, we don't talk about, you know, some of these challenges that we face or see it as an embarrassment. I never saw it as an embarrassment. I mean, I didn't cause what happened to me, right? Bad things happen to good people, good things happen to bad. It doesn't matter. There's nothing that says one person or the other has to go through something. When you get thrown something like this, it could be this or anything else, you know, you thrive in despite what's going on. I had lots of laughters. I had many down days, but I also had many good days. You know, friends around, and you know, I invited friends onto the journey at different times because there's only so much you can handle. You know, there's only so much you can handle at a certain time. Then, you know, you get through the next phase and, you know, you invite some more in, and then, you know, you kind of, you know, so that's how it was for me.
Yeah. Well, we thank God for your life, and you know, God is good. And thank God for your optimistic mindset.
Absolutely. It's
Very, very
important.
key. Very key. So Lila, tell us how you felt during the period.
It was a very tough period, I have to be honest. Because you know, my mom also went through the cancer journey. So I knew it was going to be a tough time. And I really wanted to be there for her, to encourage her, and to make sure, you know, she goes through the whole process as seamlessly as possible. And we give God the glory. Ego is very strong, as you can see. She's told you she's very organized. And, you know, she amazed me through the journey, to be honest. She amazed me. I'll go in my corner sometimes and cry, but Ego did a fantastic job, and God was with her. God gave her the strength and the grace. And it's not easy to go through cancer. She's told you, it's not an easy process. But if anyone can be there for, you know, people going through the journey, I think it's very important, because people need support. People going through this cancer journey actually do need support. They do need prayers and everything. So I encourage everyone, because you never can tell. Tomorrow it can knock on your door. You never can tell, you know?
Yeah,
So,
I agree. And the reality is, the stats are 1 in 8 women get diagnosed every day in the world with breast cancer, right? So for me, it was removed for a long, and then it was me. I never said why me. So and you know, you kind of showed my book earlier, and the reason why I actually wrote the book, when I you know, I'm organized, yes. I also like to journal, right? I journal most days. I haven't done, well, I did yesterday. Yeah, so I journal most days, and then I thought, I encourage myself in the word with a positive mindset, you know, with the messages that I listen to, either, you know, from for me, respected preachers, as well as motivational speakers. So for me, that was important to feed my with positive, you know, thoughts and words, right? So I journaled my feelings. I journaled, you know, just kind of how my day went. If it was a good day, I would say it was a good day, but I always ended my journal entries with something to be grateful for. And then I thought, this might be useful for somebody else. So from a very, to kind journal, you know, how it was, and then just use the opportunity as well to encourage and motivate
Yes.
people to
Yes.
say that no matter what you're going through, it
Yes.
doesn't matter what it is. We all have struggles. We all have challenges. But the thing is, we are not what we go through.
Mm-hmm.
Your challenge. Your challenge doesn't define you. Even our personalities don't define us. Because if you think about it, there might be days where you feel really angry. Some days you feel happy. Some days you feel frustrated. Some days you feel well achieved, right? Those
Yes.
feelings pass. They're feelings. They're not you. It's the
True.
same way
True.
challenge
True.
is. It's, everyone in life is going through something. It's
Yes.
either you're entering, you're in the middle, or you're just leaving. But it's a circle. You keep going. You keep going, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I encourage. So Layla talked about supporting people who are going through it. I would also add that if I didn't reach out and ask for help, then people would not know how to help me.
True.
So where people didn't know how to help me, I'd say, here are all the things I need. And then people picked. A friend of mine who was in the States who couldn't travel, she's like, okay, you're by yourself. They're dedicated cleaners for cancer patients. She found out and she paid for a cleaner to come and clean the house because, of course, I was by myself. I couldn't do it by myself. I had, Layla took care of the food. Someone paid for a service called Laundry Heap to come take my laundry. I leave it by the front door. They come, they take it, fold it, wash, iron, fold, bring it back, open the door, they drop it in because I can't carry it. So you have to reach out. You have to open up and ask for help. Then the help. People know how to help you.
True.
Wow. So, Ego, how are you feeling now?
I feel fantastic, actually. Excuse the tears, but I feel great. I would say I'm living my best life.
Absolutely.
I'm living my best life. Honestly, I feel great. I'm in a good place. I've always been someone who's been grateful about everything that's, their lives, right? But I have more reason to be grateful. So I live a life full of gratitude. There's, like certain things that may really tick me off in the past. It's like, you know what? It's not really that serious. I have, a number of people who started this journey with me actually didn't make it. Two people I know who were close, who were part of the journey, actually did not make it. And they were, one of them, bless her, she started the journey well before me. She would share tips. She sent me a book to read, and then she didn't make it, So I have no reason to complain about anything, really, nothing. So yeah, in a short answer, I'm doing great. I'm grateful for my life.
Thank God. Thank
Yep.
God. Thank God. Any special diet?
Lisa, ask Leila.
Yeah, Lila, what were you sending to her?
I was sending everything healthy to keep her going, everything to keep her strong, basically. So from vegetables to fruits,
Ugu.
to ugu, to you name it. She knows everything. Stew,
Yeah.
I cooked it healthy. She told you. F4, I made it healthy. Everything I made was a healthier version. That's it, basically. So everything she could eat, I made. Just, to keep her strong.
Lila, I'm happy that I have you as a friend and sister. Honestly.
We thank God.
Thank you so much.
We thank God.
God bless you. God bless you.
Amen.
Thank God for you. Thank God for you. And I'm liking this your hair, Lila. you know one green. You know one green. Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah, I've tried to maintain the healthy eating.
Yeah.
Now and again, like today, I actually had I had cappuccino ice cream. My God, it was amazing. Well, I don't.
Once in a while, you're allowed to cheat. Once in a while,
Yeah,
it's allowed.
No, it's not. I don't even call it cheating. It's just, you know what? It's me living my best life, but of course within reason, right? So I'm not saying that. You know, I go eat ice cream every day. Of course, that's not healthy, right? So I eat healthily, and then it's just a treat. The weather's nice and sunny. You know, I sat out, read a book for like 2 hours outside a cafe, and then I brought ice cream back to the house for my husband and I. Why not? Do I have any regrets? No. I don't. You know, then, you know, I kind of think I wouldn't punish myself for the fact that I decide to, you know, go a different direction. You know, I'm nearly 55, for goodness sakes, you know. I can't be counting.
In what way?
In 9 days. I still have 9 days. I still have 9 days. I'm still 54.
Oh, 9 days to 55. Oh, okay.
My birthday is next month.
My own birthday is
this month. Sorry, it's October.
My own birthday is next month, though.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Anyway, so I let's just say I make sensible choices, and I don't idolize food, you know. I just it should be for sustenance with some, you know, treats thrown in here and there.
Are you still vegan?
No. So I tell you what, when I was going through treatment in the early days, I reacted really badly to the treatment. Right?
Okay.
And I mean, of course, throughout the journey, and the advice was to start eating animal products because, you know, it's really body composition, right? They had to change my treatment twice, and then they said if you try and introduce things like cheese and fish, you know, that should help. So it helped me. You know, it helped me get through it, not to say I didn't have, you know, challenges or side effects. And then after that, I was planning to stop. And they said, basically, I needed to continue for a year after treatment and the year after surgery. So a year after surgery was last month. I guess it's any excuse. I eat it now, but the idea is slowly wean myself off. Every time I say, I'm eating fish, I'm gonna stop eating cheese, but you know, I still do.
So
but I don't like
so Ego, tell me, are you scared that the cancer may come back?
No, fear is not fear has never really been part of me. No, not really. I mean, I'm under no illusion that, you know, things happen, and if it happens, I believe that I would be given the same grace that I was given the first time round. I mean, my prayer is that it doesn't happen. However, it happens to some, right? And if I happen to be, you know, I know in our culture we like, oh, not my portion, but portion is it, right? So
that's right.
Good question.
Very good.
So the same way that I prayed for grace and strength to deal with it, and you know, God has given me a good experience through it, and I've learned from that experience. So if it happens again, then so be it. I mean, it can't be the one side; it have to be the other side. You know, they've cut. You know, the left breast was cut. Yeah, you cut the right. You know, you take it off. You know, and the beauty in early detection. I was so fortunate; it was detected early, right? So by God's grace, it will, if it does happen. I'm not saying I want it to happen. I don't wish it on anyone. That's the last thing I wish on anybody. The journey is just it's beyond anyone's wildest imagination, except of course they've been through it or close to someone who has. So yeah, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of anything. in fact, I'm generally not afraid of anything anyway. It's like, you know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Makes you strong, absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you one question, and then after this question, we'll just pause a bit to say hello to our friends and family on the thread. So Ego, how did you keep yourself busy during the period? I mean, while you were going through pain and you were alone, how did you keep yourself busy? And what kind of thoughts were going through your mind when you were alone? You know?
I actually read a lot. So
Okay.
I did a lot of reading. I did a lot of reading. I'm not really a TV person, so I wouldn't say I watched a lot of TV. When I had the strength, so I normally had about 10 days where between treatment where I felt strong enough. So it was either reading or sewing. I love to sew. When I had the strength, I actually would sew, and then reading. And then, you know, like going through my mind, I think the only thing I felt was kind of loneliness, not sadness, but loneliness. I really wished I had a full house. You know, I wished I had, you know, like my husband and my siblings and everyone around me. But the reality was, I wasn't the only one who was in that situation because the world was in a lockdown. So
yeah,
basically, it was a playing field. I was feeling the same way everyone else was feeling. So yeah, I know how to entertain myself. So yeah, just kind of reading and sewing, trying to think. And then during treatment, I could hardly go for walks. I love outdoors. I love walking. But as soon as I was able to, then I would go for walks.
Yeah. All right, Ego, thanks. So let's go through the thread and let's say hello to all our friends. Yeah, Ronke Malo is
Hello.
saying, you look beautiful, dear.
Thank
That's
you.
Ronke Malo.
Yeah.
Ronke, thank you, Jerry. So, and then we have Sewak saying, well done, girl. And they told
Thank
like
you.
saying, I pray it doesn't come back, Ego, but I know you so well. You are a realist. I just wish I knew then, during and not after your diagnosis.
Hi, Tola.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
there's
like I
Funke
mentioned.
Louis. Okay. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, no, like I mentioned, you know, I kind of brought people along the journey at different stages, and you know, that's just how it worked for me. So it wasn't anything else.
Yes. Auntie Titi is saying that stage 1 does not usually come back.
Amen.
Refiner's Touch is here. Dorothy Atake says, I admire your courage. You are fully healed in Jesus' name. Dorothy is, yes, we know Dorothy. Dorothy is our wife.
Oh,
Yes.
Layla's sister-in-law, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Um,
Hi, Sister Dorothy.
Yeah. Then Maki Ido, my friend, is saying the chances of happening, the chances of it happening again is very low, given that it was stage 1. And then
Awesome.
Efe, Krega is here. Nikki John, Super Reader, Dakwa Odojuko, my husband, is here saying hello. My friend Ibukun is here. And Tunde is here. Tunde Atake is here. Tunde is here. Hi, Tunde, our
Hi.
sister. Wale Atake is here too.
Oh, wow. My whole family.
Our brother, even though Wale does not know me, but I know him.
Wale knows you, I'm sure.
Okay. So everybody's here. Abe Jawando is here. Ife Iwaduf is here. Donyi is here. So many people are here. You know, just Bossetu is here. Caroline. Yeah, so Uncle Ima.
They're calling you.
Yeah. Okay, Uncle Ima, do you think that you will escape?
God, grab a chair. Grab a chair. Sit down.
Hi, Sheke.
Hello, Emmanuel.
How are you? Big bros of life.
How are you, Leila?
Fine, thank you. And you?
I'm good. Oh, use
Good
your hair.
to see you.
So this is Uncle Ima Nwadei. He's my big brother of life and a very handsome man
Very.
A handsome husband to a beautiful wife. Ego.
Amen.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you to my wife for allowing me to share in this Instagram app.
Okwima is not old school, though. It's not old school, but with this Instagram is old school because he's not on Instagram.
Yeah. And I didn't want to start today.
Okay, Okwima, so tell us, when you heard that Ego had breast cancer, how did you feel?
It's interesting also because, like she said, I think a few months before that, we had just buried my older sister.
Yes.
20, right. So that was a shock on itself. But like my wife, I'm even more of a realist than this lady. I'm too much of a realist. I don't believe in, it's not my portion. I don't believe in, I reject it. I don't believe it's what it is. It comes to you, you deal with it. When you pray to God, pray for the strength to scale all the hurdles in life, not for God to put hurdles for you, because the hurdles are going to be there. So that's and I work in healthcare. So when she said they call her back in, of course, I kind of knew what was going to happen then. So it was just a case of, okay, what's the situation? How are we going to handle this? And I remember telling her that, I said, let me tell you one thing, my dear. You have to trust the medical profession. Do they make mistakes? Yes, they do make mistakes, like the human beings that work there. But you got to trust the medical profession because the divine God put that gift in their hands to be able to take care of all of us.
Knowledge,
and they have done a lot more good in the world, even though these days people tend to put them down for whatever reasons may be. So I told her, I said, trust medical profession, hold on to your faith, because it's important, because they're going to be pumping chemicals into your body that the intent of the chemicals is actually to destroy your body. So the only thing that can help you, your will to stay strong and to fight those chemicals. So it was shocking because we're very good friends and we enjoy each other's company. So but it was at a terrible time in the world with the lockdown, and up until last week was. I mean, I've not been able to go to England up until maybe last week or so. We're not allowed to go. I'm not a citizen of the UK, so nothing against them. So I was not able to travel, and I wasn't going to go anywhere because then I'll have to go. They'd probably not let me in anyway. So we're kind of marooned out here in Qatar while my wife was going through chemotherapy
You were there early days,
but I was there. So it was troubling, it was challenging, but if I knew my wife very well, I knew that she was going to survive. And the side effects will come, but that's the way it is. And you have to just stay strong and go through the side effects, and then you will be okay. So, yeah. Well, was I troubled? Yes, but I had no fear at all that she will make it because it's just her nature. Yeah.
Wow. It's good to be strong.
It is good to be strong. It's also good to be a realist, I think.
Yeah.
Because it helps your faith and it helps your confidence to know that, understand what is going on. You break it down and then know how to approach it. Miracles do happen. Prayers do work. It helps you to build your faith. But also, the regimens that have been developed over the years by science that helps us to battle this terrible disease that is cancer.
We thank God. Thank you, Okwima, for your response. Please stay on. We want to continue to see your face. Lila,
wow.
Lila, you can't go anywhere. Me, I need your support now.
For what? I almost went out,
Don't go. How can you go?
Thank you so much, Sheke, for what you're doing.
It's about Ego. Ask Ego questions.
I just want to see your face.
Okay, I'm here.
Thank you, Okwima. Thank you very much. Thank you, Lila. you, Ego, for agreeing to just even share your story and inspire and impact and also motivate lives. And the advice here is that all of us should just go and do this mammogram, honestly, so that whatever it is that is inside our bodies can be caught early. May God continue to have to give us wisdom. So, Ego, what advice would you? Have I just given that advice? You will have more advice to give. Give us more. Give us more advice, Ego.
Okay.
I mean, you've said it right. I remember even after I'd had a mammogram, a friend of mine said to me, "Oh my God, I don't want to do it. You go there and they squash your boobs in this machine." I'm like, nobody's squashing anything. You know, it's just something you need to do. So I would say get yourself checked regularly. You know, talk about it, ask for help. I know in our, like I said earlier, with our culture, you know, we don't talk about these things. It's a taboo. And then, you know, people from like family from Nigeria, when they saw me, they'd be like, are you sure you have cancer? You don't look like someone who has cancer. So I said, what do they look like? What do they actually look like? You know, are you expecting? I mean, of course it's, you know, I consider myself fortunate because it was breast cancer. It's outside of the body, right?
But it was inside.
Huh?
Inside, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was kind of, at least they can cut it off.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, I considered myself, you know, like fortunate, but yeah, just kind of ask for help, eat right as well. And I also think my healthy lifestyle prior would have helped because, you know, I exercise, I eat well. Someone is asking about special diet. So the one thing that I know for a fact that actually helped me get through, kind of reduce some of the side effects or help me get through the day, because like my husband said, they're pumping chemicals in your body, was ugu juice. Seriously, I'm not even kidding.
You called it
ugu smoothie. Seriously, I'm not even kidding.
Wow.
The day, the days, days leading up to the treatment, I would have, I blend ugu either with orange, like freshly squeezed orange, or coconut water, right? And it actually did something, because before you have chemotherapy, they have to have blood tests on the day. And then if your bloods are not at a particular level, then you get sent home. And it's happened to me before. There was one time my white blood count was like 0. And they said, how did you actually get here, right? So, and then the days where I would say like 2 days before, so day -2, -1 day off, I have the ugu smoothie, and then I do the bloods, and it's like really good. And they say, what are you doing differently? And I think I covered it. Well, there you go, immune booster, right? It's, you know, it's covered in my book. So I ate a lot of vegetables, you know, like, you know, Leila mentioned about the food. She cooks stew without oil, and that stew tastes like $1 million.
How does $1 million taste like?
Well,
No, but Shekel, whenever there's a talk about healthy lifestyle, I always get excited, because it's something that I wish that our people will really embrace. I think the first medicine for everyone is your lifestyle, actually. And over time, you have hypertension, you have diabetes, and we don't know that just making modifications to your lifestyle could change these things, or could actually mitigate or prevent future chronic diseases from coming on and becoming a part of your life. So simple, just getting up every day and just making that 30 minutes to 1 hour walk every day. You know, anywhere you live, there's beauty everywhere. Find a place that fits your eyes to walk around and have a good time. And then when you eat, make sure you know what you're eating. It is important. Just know what you're eating, you know, once you know what you're eating, and then try to cook at home. Sorry for those that own restaurants, but make your food at home also as much as you eat outside. Eat more at home, so you can know you can know what you're putting into yourself more than what you're eating outside, you know. And then if you do that,
yeah,
as they say, you can leave the rest to God.
yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes. So that's the advice, definitely. Healthy
So
lifestyle.
please let us advertise your book. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
More than
It's on
just
Amazon. Amazon.co.uk and Amazon.com. The title of the book is More Than Just My Hair. And how I got decided on that name was I mentioned how I went to have my hair cut off. So
see
I
how
would,
plenty Ego's hair was. See how plenty her hair was.
and that was all mine.
She still has it.
Is it grown back? Has it grown
Go
back?
back, yes.
No, the hair is still there for inside locker somewhere.
Oh yeah, no, I have the hair. I have.
Oh,
my
you
hair.
kept the hair.
Yeah.
So
And
can you sew it back? Can you sew it back?
I guess I could if I want that look, but I'm just enjoying short hair for now. I remember when a number of people found out, they're like, "Oh my God, have you lost your hair? Will you lose your hair?" And then I thought, you know what? I'm more than just my hair. And even before I had the cancer, like for very many years, I've always said, and I have it as some of my statuses somewhere, I don't remember where. I always said and believe that may the definition of me be more than what the mirror can see. So you see all of this, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, you have good skin, you have this, you have that. But I don't want to be remembered for how I look. I want to be remembered for who I am, for how I've impacted people's lives, for how I've made people feel after they've encountered me, right? So I'm not my personality or what I look like or whether I'm bald or not. And I tell you what, I rocked my baldness with boldness.
Yes, it is.
Really. The only times I wore a hat was just because it was in the winter months. Otherwise, I rocked it, and I'm more than just the hair. It's just hair, really. So yeah, that's how the name of the book came about.
Ego, this sentence that you just said just now, you rocked your hair. I rocked
my
hair.
baldness.
I rocked my baldness with bold. Did you write it in your book?
No, I just
it's a very strong. It's a very strong sentence. So I
didn't put
my baldness with boldness.
Yes, yeah. Because it's what's inside that comes out, right? Even the Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So I was what was inside of me, not what I look like. I mean, we're blessed as African women. We can change our hairstyle.
Yeah.
Like every 5 minutes. So that was just one look. That look didn't define me. Yeah.
Or repete. We Yoruba to say oro repete word.
Laiwo.
Laiwo. So Ego, you have another interview, Abi. Are you still going for your interview? Thank God I got you first before that person.
No, she's not going.
All right, so pardon?
No, she's not going.
What did you say?
Well,
she's not going. Oh, thank God. Yeah. So I'm not my hair by India Irie. Yes, I remember that. Esosa. That's my little friend. All right. So Ego, do you want to say your thank yous?
Yeah, I'd actually start by thanking everyone who's on this call. I thank you for joining. I thank you for your heart. All the comments. I mean, I've seen names of people I know or heard of, and I just thank you for your time. You could have spent your Sunday afternoon. Most people are actually, I guess, I don't know if there's anyone from the States, but you could have spent this hour somewhere else, but you chose to spend it here
watching football.
Yeah, they could have spent it watching football. Yeah. But no, seriously, I thank everyone. And it's nice just to kind of be around, like encouraging people, right? I'm thankful for my friends, some on this call. Layla's one of them. I thank you. I don't even call you my friend. You're my sister, you know?
Right.
You've been there, we've been there through thick and thin for very many years, as early as like, I don't know, maybe like 20, 25, 26 years ago. You know, I thank you, you know, for who you are, for my friends, or for anyone who's going to watch this afterwards. Presumably, is it being recorded? I don't know.
Yes, it's recorded.
Yeah. So, you know, and, you know, like my family, my husband, my best friend, my sounding board. Thank you.
Want to kiss each other.
We are too old.
Yeah, kiss now, kiss, Jerry.
You want
Give her a
NCC
kiss
to
now.
NCC will block you. NCC will block you. NCC will block you.
My family, my friends, you know, everyone really. And you know, like the medical team, they were amazing. Seriously. I was fortunate to so in the first treatment was under the NHS, and I immediately switched to, and I'm glad I did. It was timely because of COVID and all the restrictions. So I kind of went private. You know, the medical team, just everyone, my prayer warriors all over the world who I never really met. Yeah. Joe, I thank the world, you know, and you know, most importantly, I thank God for the grace to actually get through it. Because really, you know, where we say it's God's grace, I saw God's grace at work. Seriously. You know? So yeah.
So let's look at the thread before you go. A lot of encouragement from people. Tola.
Yeah, that's my friend, Tola.
Okay. He's saying, Ego, you are one of the strongest people that I know. Maki Dowi is sending kisses to you.
Hello, Mark.
My little friend is hailing me, Esosa, because I said
hailing you for asking adults to start kissing.
Exactly. Wale Remis, my brother and my friend, is saying very inspirational. Well done, Ego. IBK Sylvia is saying, oh, she's from America. She's saying morning here in New York. Thanks for sharing your story. Dorothy is saying remain focused and positive. God bless you. Plan B is saying, Lila, you are wonderful. You are wonderful. Doimi is saying thank you so much, Ego. Esosa again, clapping for me. Thank you, Esosa.
How do you know she's clapping for you and not me?
She's
or Leila.
for you. Yeah, she's clapping for all of us.
For me.
There you go.
She's clapping for all of us, okay. And Aderonke Adebule, Ronke, how now? She's saying thank you. Oh, they've left. Oh, I'm sure it was a mistake. Oh. Let's see whether they'll come back.
Did you cut them off?
No, I didn't. I didn't. It must have gone off.
Timed out.
Yes, you know now. We're dealing with unforeseen forces. I'm inviting her back.
Okay.
She'll come back on. Maybe Uncle Ima just cut it off so that he could kiss her.
Oh no.
Uncle Ima, did you cut it off to kiss her?
But my big thumb, though. My big thumb.
Oh,
but you wanted to kiss her. That's why you cut it off. I know. I know you very well, Uncle Ima. Hey. Thank you so much,
Leila.
Thank you,
Lila. Let's interview Lila now. Lila, I'm going to interview you specially.
For what?
There you go.
I will call you later. Don't worry. You know, you have a story. You have an inspirational story. So, all right, my dear friends, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming, for being allowed to be interviewed. Ego, Uncle Ima, my dear friend Lila, thank you so much for coming. Next week, I'm going to have a professor of an obstetrician gynecologist. Is coming on next week. Professor Rotimi Jaisimi is coming on to talk to us about women issues. Just women issues.
That'd be nice.
Yes, he's going to come and talk to us, to warn us about things that we should do and we should not do. And he's just going to talk to us. Sister Yemisi, I see you. All right, my dear lovely ones. Thank you for coming. God bless you.
Take
Till
care.
Good to
next
Thanks.
see
Monday.
you, my
Good to
people.
see you all.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye,
Love
Leila.
you. Mwah.
Love you.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Amen. Amen.
Bye.
Bye.